Well, my Auburn recruiting junkies, we are back again with yet another commitment video. This week, it's got to be 4 at this point. Let's go to the Division II ranks for this one. We're going to give you those quick facts that you need to know, and of course, what it means for Bruce Pearl and the Auburn Tigers. Before we do that, I want to welcome you back here to the channel at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. That Auburn experience to us is all about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff. An easier way to say it, if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. If you enjoy what we do today, we'd love for you to hit that follow button or subscribe button along with smashing the like button. Let's get into it today, because by the time I get done with this one, there may be another commitment that we have to do a video for. I don't know. At this point, it just keeps coming every single day now. All right, so we are going to go to the Division II ranks, and we're going to go to the state of Tennessee for this particular individual. The newest commitment for the Auburn Tigers for their upcoming season is going to be coming by way of Lincoln Memorial University. We are talking about Elyjah Freeman, a very rising star in the Division II ranks at Lincoln Memorial, if I could get that out. So obviously a lot of people had his attention. He had their attention, obviously coming from the state of Tennessee. Tennessee was a big player in this one. In fact, he had recently left a visit with them. Previously had visited Auburn and Indiana, I think. That was the other player in this. Tennessee and Indiana. Auburn had to beat out. Think about that. And Auburn won. That's an incredible thing right there. Kind of sticks in the craw of, Tennessee and Indiana, some fan bases that continue to try to, or at least think they're going to steal Bruce Pearl from Auburn. And he keeps stealing things from them. But I digress. Let's get to know Elyjah Freeman just a little bit better. If you look for measurables on him, I couldn't really find a reputable weight on him, but he's listed at about 6'8" on Lincoln Memorial's website. So what does that mean in terms of where he's going to play? What's his position? Well, the key word here for him, as has been many of the pickups for Auburn basketball, not just this season, but most seasons under Bruce Pearl, is versatility. Most people will tell you forward. Small forward is the term a lot of people are throwing around. I've seen he can be a big guard. I've seen that he can be the traditional 4 or 3 or whatever role that you want to put him in. He's certainly a forward, so we'll keep it in that realm, maybe a small forward. If we look at some stats, that gives us a little bit of familiarity in terms of what he's bringing to the table. If you go to Lincoln Memorial, I'll pull that up on the screen for you, and you might see it's a little bit hard to read the way it's laid out, but just pause or zoom in if you need to. You'll see a couple things listed there that I want to point out. He started 25 of 28 games, so obviously he was a big player, not just for the team in general, but as a starter. Very crucial for their success. 19.3 points per game, and then rebounds 9.1. So he almost has a double-double in his averages alone. Just shy of that, and just shy of averaging 20 points a game. Really good stats. Division II level, yes, I grant you, but obviously that bodes really well for what Auburn's getting in terms of him. You know what if you know me, if you've been here before, been to our post-game streams on basketball, you know what I harp on, free throws. Look at that, 80%. That's a beautiful thing right there. A lot of people are pointing out his three-point percentage. It's pretty good. He doesn't shoot it a whole lot based off of those numbers in terms of how often he shoots the three-pointer, but when he does, he's pretty accurate. So stats back it up. Lots of opinions out there from reputable sources back it up. Looks like Auburn probably got a steal, especially if you consider, and I want to call it a steal, you got someone that everybody wanted, especially some of the big names like Indiana and Tennessee. All right, so now that you know some of the facts that you need to know about Elyjah Freeman, let's talk about what it means, right? That's what we're all here for. What does it mean for the future, for him, for starting time, all that stuff? We'll start by looking at the numbers for this class. At the time of his commitment, it made it 9 total commitments in this class. It also made it 5 commitments from the transfer ranks. That would be actually 4 from the transfer ranks, and 6 if you count JUCOs as part of that transfer as well. And I think I said this was like the 4th this week already. Depending on where you put some people in the positions, this could be like considered the 3rd small forward for Auburn. Obviously, versatility is key here, and he's the first from the Division II ranks. Now, what does it mean for his future in terms of where he's going to play? A lot of people are making the comparison, not just in the type of player, but what role he will be filling, what was vacated by Chad Baker-Mazara with him going into the transfer portal. May not be a bad comparison to make, and we'll see if that works out being the exact same way if he's the same type of player. But obviously that seems to make a lot of sense right there. So that spot is open. Certainly would have given him a chance to come in here and prove himself, all that stuff. A lot of good talk about him. We'll see how he fits into that role and how he fits into the roster, the rotation as time goes on. But that certainly looks to be the way we might be heading with this particular individual. Finally, what does it mean for the rest of the class? This is starting to get to that point with how many more will Auburn take? If you look at what is currently out there, assuming everybody has signed, and I believe most have at this point, and that Tahad Pettiford might come back from the NBA draft, that would make the roster of people you would expect to play maybe about 10. And that's what Bruce usually likes to play most of the time, 10 to 11 guys, or at least that's what he did last year. So you could look at that and say, well, it looks pretty full of major contributors. Maybe there's room for another out there. If Tahad doesn't come back, maybe obviously there's going to be room for someone there. Where is the room for them? Is it at more of a guard type position? There's a lot of versatile forward, 6'7", 6'8" guys that Auburn has already. Maybe a bigger guy still. Who knows? I'm sure there's still some room, some people that are maybe wanting to come in and be part of the program that maybe even aren't expecting to play right away. I don't think we're done yet, but it's certainly starting to fill up. I want to know what you think about Elyjah Freeman. Are you excited about him? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you. And we thank you for tuning in with us today here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. War Eagle.